What if I told you there's a secret switch hidden on your body, one so powerful it could completely shift your energy, your awareness, even your entire way of being, and you've probably touched it 1,000 times without even realizing what it really is? Yeah, I'm serious. No incense, no fancy chants, no 7-day retreats in the Himalayas. Just one touch, right at the base of your skull. Sound crazy? Or does something inside you already know it's true? The quiet spot that holds ancient power. Let's be real. Most of us go through life caught in our heads, thinking, worrying, scrolling, rushing. But there's this one quiet place on your body that's been patiently waiting for your attention. It's not loud. It doesn't scream. But when you do notice it, oh boy, everything starts to shift. This place? It's that soft dip right at the back of your neck, just under your skull. Ever found yourself rubbing there when you're stressed or deep in thought? That's not random. Your body remembers something your mind forgot. Because once upon a time, long before smartphones and traffic jams, this little spot was known to be a doorway, a literal energetic gate between the physical world and the invisible realms. Ancient civilizations knew the secret. Thousands of years ago, mystics in places like Tibet, ancient Egypt, and India didn't need to read books about alignment or frequency. They lived it. And one of their most sacred secrets, that subtle point at the back of your head, in the temple of Karnak in Egypt, initiates whispered about the eye of the nape. Sounds poetic, right? But it was serious business. They believed that when this eye was gently activated, it could unlock visions like waking dreams. Not hallucinations, but glimpses into higher awareness. And in traditional Chinese medicine, this spot is called Feng Fu, the Palace of Wind. They believed it controlled how energy moved in and out of the body. Like a vent. Too much chaos stuck inside you. Touch this spot, let it out. Simple, powerful, real. Even in Indian Tantric teachings, this area is where the Bindu, a mystical drop of divine essence, sits near the Vishuddha, or throat chakra. When you activate this area, it's said that nectar-like energy drips down, filling you with natural bliss. Not metaphorical bliss. Real body-felt, goosebumps down your back kind of bliss. Why, you've never heard about it. So why doesn't everyone know this? Because modern life doesn't exactly encourage inner exploration. We're trained to value what's outside. Success, achievement, more stuff. We've been taught that the body is just a machine to carry your brain around. But ancient traditions, they saw the body as a sacred map. And that dip at the back of your neck, that was the starting point. The key, the back door to your soul. Here's the kicker, this spot is right where your brain stem meets your spine. We're talking literal access to your life support system. Breathing, heartbeat, balance, it's all controlled here. And when you gently touch this point, you're not just doing some woo-woo spiritual thing. You're activating your core operating system. And guess what? Neuroscience is finally catching up. Modern studies show that light stimulation in this area can shift brainwave patterns. It can pull you into a deep, calm state, or even heighten your senses, just like the sages said centuries ago. How to activate it gently. Now let's talk about how to actually use this. First rule, no force. This isn't a power drill. It's a whisper. Take your index and middle finger or your thumb, if that feels more natural, and gently press the point where your neck meets your skull. You'll feel a small hollow right at the center. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath. Press gently and release. Do it like you're knocking on a door that leads inside. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Feel anything? Some people report a soft warmth that starts to spread. Others feel tingles running down their spine, like a soft waterfall. A few feel a light pressure building, almost like something's waking up. Don't chase sensations. Just feel. That's the magic. This is not about magic. It's about remembering. Look, this isn't a party trick. You're not unlocking superpowers. You're remembering what it feels like to be deeply connected to your body, to your breath, to your presence. The first thing that usually happens, your mind starts to settle down. The storm of thoughts begins to slow. It's like your brain goes, "Wait, something real is happening here." That's when you know the door is opening. The touch becomes a ritual. Not flashy, not dramatic, just sacred. And with each touch, you're sending a message to your nervous system. Hey, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm ready. You don't need to understand the science or memorize the ancient names. All you need is presence. This tiny practice might just be the quiet revolution your energy's been waiting for. So now you know what this hidden point is and how to start working with it. But here's the real question. What happens when you start activating it regularly? What changes begin to ripple through your body, your mind, your life? All right, so you've found the spot. That quiet hollow at the base of your skull. You've touched it. Maybe you felt a subtle warmth, a soft tingle, or just a sudden wave of stillness. But now you're wondering what happens next. What changes, if any, should you expect? Is this just another feel-good trick, or is something real shifting inside you? Spoiler alert, it's real, but it's not always easy. When you open a door, you don't just invite light in sometimes. You meet your shadows too. The 3 pathways that awaken. Here's where things get juicy. That little spot at the nape of your neck. It's more than just a nerve center. It's like a roundabout where 3 massive highways of energy intersect. Let's break it down. The spinal channel's Sushumna Nadi. If you've heard of Kundalini, you know this one. The Sushumna is the central channel in yogic teachings. It runs straight up your spine, from the base to the crown. It's the path your life force, your prana takes when it wants to rise and awaken your higher centers. And guess where this sacred highway flows right past? Yup, the base of your skull. When you touch the nape point, it's like sending a wake-up call to this dormant energy. Time to rise. The brainstem connection, your control tower. This spot links to your medulla oblongata, the part of your brain that handles your automatic systems, breathing, heartbeat, balance. So, when you stimulate this area, you're not just awakening spiritually, you're calming your nervous system, dropping your stress levels, and grounding yourself in the body. The human energy field, your aura. Now this one gets more subtle. Every living being has an electromagnetic field. Some call it the aura, others the biofield. And the nape point? It's like a power outlet that plugs your inner wiring into this larger energetic field. When you touch it consciously, your field starts to pulse with clarity. It's like your energy gets tuned, and people around you feel it too. The shift in perception. Here's the thing. Once you activate this spot regularly, you'll begin to notice things. And not in a spooky way, in a clear way. Colors might look more vivid. Time feels slower. Sounds get sharper. It's like your senses start working together on a deeper level. You're no longer just seeing the world, you're feeling it. You may even get subtle flashes of insight, little downloads from somewhere deep inside you. Ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. But they're not from nowhere. They're from you, the version of you that's been waiting for your awareness to catch up. The shadows that rise. But let's be honest. When you flip on a light in a dark room, what's the first thing you see? Dust. Cobwebs. Maybe even a few things you forgot you left there. It's the same inside you. This energy point doesn't just awaken your light. It awakens your stuff. Old wounds, forgotten memories, emotional patterns you thought you'd gotten over. They might rise up not to punish you, but to be seen, felt, and released. It's like opening a long closed valve. At first, rusty water comes out, but eventually, it flows clear. So don't freak out if after touching this point, you feel emotional or restless. or even a little disoriented. You're not broken. You're recalibrating. What to do when this happens? Okay, so now you're wondering, what should I do if all this stuff comes up? Simple. Breathe. Slowly. Deeply. Not to control your body, but to stay with it. Journal. After touching the nape point, keep a notebook nearby. Jot down what you felt. What came up? What memories or images floated in? You don't need to make sense of it right away. Just honor it. Rest. Energy integration is real. If you feel like lying down afterward, do it. Let your body process what your soul is unpacking. Don't chase. This isn't about trying to have visions or force experiences. Sometimes, all that happens is peace, and that alone is sacred. Energetic alignment, not escape. This isn't about escaping reality. It's about aligning with it. See, when you touch this spot regularly, you'll notice you get less reactive. That angry text? You pause before replying. That old trigger? It doesn't hit as hard. That feeling of, I'm not enough. It begins to melt. Why? Because your energy is syncing with your truth, not your story, not your fears, not your wounds. Your truth. You're no longer running away from life. You're standing right in the center of it, calm, aware, awake. The subtle gifts that appear. The more you practice this, the more subtle gifts begin to show up. You get creative ideas during the day that feel like whispers from your future self. You start to know things about people or situations before they unfold. You feel more present in your body, more in tune with your rhythm. You begin to remember parts of yourself that were never really gone, just sleeping. This is the beauty of working with the nape point. It doesn't add something new to you. It peels away the noise and reveals what's always been there. So you've found the door, you've opened it, and now you're walking through it. But how do you live from this awakened space practically? How do you bring this into your daily routine, your habits, your emotional life, your creative work? All right, you've found the door at the back of your neck. You've touched it. You've felt the shift, maybe subtle, maybe intense. But now comes the most important part of the journey, integration. Because a moment of awakening is powerful, but living from that awakened space, that's the real magic. So, how do you make this more than a one-time experience? How do you actually live this energy, not just visit it during quiet moments? Let's break it down. Morning touch. Start the day from within. Before your feet hit the floor, before you even open your eyes, pause. Place your fingers gently on the base of your skull, the nape point. Breathe in deeply. Hold for a few seconds. Exhale slowly. Don't force it. Don't expect anything. Just feel. Let your day begin from presence, not from your to-do list. This tiny ritual sets the tone. It's like tuning an instrument before you start to play. You're telling your body, I'm not rushing. I'm arriving. Over time, this becomes your anchor. No matter what the day throws at you, you've already centered yourself. Midday reset, the 60-second portal. You don't need an hour of silence or a candlelit room. Just stop for 60 seconds in the middle of your day during work, errands, whatever. Place your hand gently on the nape. Close your eyes. 1 breath, 2, maybe 3. Feel the world pause. Notice how your thoughts slow down, how your breath deepens, how your posture softens. This isn't a break, it's a reconnection. Like plugging back into the source. Like remembering who you are before the world tells you who to be. Activate before creation or meditation. Want to meditate deeper? Want clearer insights when writing, painting, or dreaming up your next big idea? Touch this point first. Why? Because this area organizes your energy. It's like a conductor in an orchestra, calling all the instruments into harmony. You'll notice distractions melt away faster. Your thoughts become more aligned. Your focus sharpens like a laser, but stays relaxed. This is where effort meets flow. So next time you sit to create, reflect, or simply breathe, start here. Emotional first aid. Use it as medicine. Let's be real. Some days feel heavy. You get triggered. You feel off, anxious, maybe disconnected. Instead of spiraling, pause. Touch the nape point gently, no drama, no expectation. Just touch and breathe. This spot isn't just an energy switch. It's a reset button for your nervous system. You're literally signaling your body, it's safe to calm down now. In the chaos of life, this becomes your portable sanctuary. The sacred sleep touch. Before bed, try this. Lay down. Close your eyes. One hand on your chest. One hand on the nape of your neck. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Feel the weight of your day melt away. Let your awareness settle into the space between your thoughts. That final touch before sleep can open the door to healing dreams, deep rest, and even subtle insights from your subconscious. Because the night isn't just for rest, it's for reconnection. What changes you might notice? If you do this consistently, even just 1 or 2 of these rituals, you might begin to notice less overthinking, more inner clarity, sudden waves of peace, even in chaos, emotional patterns breaking without effort, a stronger gut instinct guiding you with quiet confidence, a feeling that something deeper is leading the way. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before the noise. This spot is a spiritual compass. Here's what most people don't realize. This tiny spot behind your neck. It remembers. It holds your blueprint, your forgotten energy, your dormant potential. Every time you touch it with awareness, you're saying to yourself, I'm here. I remember. I choose to wake up. You don't need to try to be spiritual. You are already. You just need to feel it. And this touch? It's your access point. Like knocking on a door that was never locked, just hidden. A final whisper before you go. If you've made it this far, if you felt something shift inside you during this journey, that's not an accident. You didn't stumble upon this practice. You remembered it. Because deep down, your body and soul were waiting for this exact message. Not from me, but from you, your higher self, your quiet knowing. And now that you've touched the door, now that you've listened, you can't unknow this. You can't go back to sleep before you leave. So here's what I ask. Make this your ritual. Not because it's trendy, but because it's true. Share it with someone who might need to remember too. And when the world gets loud, come back to the quiet. That quiet, sacred place, right at the base of your skull. Because sometimes, all it takes to come home to yourself is a single, intentional touch. If you felt something during this video, drop a comment, share your experience, and hit subscribe. We're building a space where forgotten truths get remembered again. Until next time, touch with awareness, breathe with presence, and let your energy lead you home.